me to admit that I don't know. It gives me an opportunity to learn.
Hey y'all, this is Vanessa, and Raw allows me to be authentically myself while bringing you some cheese and some tea and a little bit of fun.
Hey guys, it's Katie, aka Karina. Raw is authentic conversation and it allows me to be right and wrong at the same time.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. Raw Conversations allows me to be aware, to be transparent, and of course, to grow.
Steve, say your owner.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Happy Friday. We're back on.
Where's our intro video?
Oh, y'all want to see one more? Y'all will got one more video for y'all. Y'all. In the meantime, please invite as many people as you can today, y'all. It's trending topics.
Do you like taboo topics?
Do you like to talk about religion?
Do you like to talk about sex?
Do you like trending topics?
Then join us live
On our weekly podcast.
And follow us on our various social media platforms.
Under Raw Conversations.
Hey, y'all heard it. You know, Karina, I wanted you to ask y'all a question, and she sure did. All right, y'all. Welcome to the show. It's Friday. We are back on Raw Conversations. We are so glad to be on tonight. We have our favorite. He's not
Brother.
no, he's not our brother. Our fair co-host of all time. The best man we can ever have on this show, unless Lufa come and tell us otherwise, because we're still waiting for Lufa. Our own Steve Moses is back with us tonight as we talk about these trending topics. Y'all know election is hot right now, so we're gonna go into politics too today, y'all. Your girls are talking about politics today. So if you're just joining us, please share the show. If you're on a Cross Africa network, today y'all can come. It's okay. We can talk politics a little bit today, of course, because we are Raw Conversations. So we will have a little bit trending topics as far as things that's happening locally and around the world. But most of our conversation will be geared towards our elections in Liberia. So we're so excited to be on. Steve, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Lord. October looking at will be good for me.
You started with a bush with me. You got, oh yeah, we're surrounding you.
Yeah, because your father told the brother title off now. At least hey, now I can finally make something happen. When I confident right now, I can drop something for the whole. Yeah.
Now that you're not our brother.
Exactly. And then why come out and tell Lufa?
Good for you.
Let Lofa go sleep, man. Lofa, we're missing you. Honestly, somebody tag Lofa, please, and tell him we need him, we miss him. It's been a while, and Lofa been wanting us to bring one of the candidates on here, specifically people that are not in the league right now. But we're not gonna call that name.
Saving team.
The people that were saving the world. So we're trying to bring them on, but we didn't make the connection happen in time, and we had a lot happening. So, but tonight we're excited to be here. Kevin, we have a guest co-host coming on too. So we're gonna have a few people on here, but share the show. Let's talk Liberia politics. But first, can we just talk about what's going on around the world before we get to the major topic? Because y'all know we're waiting. We apologize in advance if we criticize the election process in Liberia. I just want to apologize in advance because I already had this talk backstage with some people and soon they say must start putting our country down. So people, I want to start off with the right foot and tell you, say you're sorry, but we gotta talk about it. So, Karina, you want to start with the training topics while we let people come in?
Jennifer, start. I'm trying to get our co-host to join.
Okay. So we have another co-host coming on, but before he gets on, we were just gonna get started talking about some trending topics, some serious thing happening around the world. So we want to talk about that, and then we also will, appreciate your input. So share the show if you're coming on. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Welcome to the show. Hey, Mr. Sharif Tech, welcome to the show. Yeah, welcome everybody. We welcome you guys. Come, let's talk about what's trending, y'all.
Okay, let's talk about it. If you're just joining, please share the show.
Y'all don't go nowhere.
You don't go. We're about to dive into what's happening in our sweet land of liberty. We will talk about it tonight.
Hey, y'all, let us know. La
Y'all bring the
vida.
politicians.
Y'all forgive us. We're not politicians on here, nor do we talk politics much on this show, but we do like to discuss when some things are happening. Right now, the election hot. You know, the election was 4 days ago, but it's still cutting. So it's hot. So with that being said, let's jump on to our
Yeah,
trending
let's talk about America first, eh?
Let's talk about America first. So in America now, what happened is that
Yeah,
oh,
America.
I don't know if we leave Jada for last, but maybe we should talk about Jada first and just get it warm up.
Yes.
So as you all know, Jada Pinkett Smith has been married to Will Smith for many years. I think they got married back in '97, if I'm not mistaken. And we followed them. They've been well known to have an open relationship, and then it wasn't open, and then she got into an entanglement, and then she wasn't in an entanglement, and then he was slapping a man on the stage for her business and all. Hey, the man that can fight for his woman on national TV with millions of people watching. Hey, yeah, you love her a long time. I tell you. But anyway, that's just my take on it. He was slapping a man for her woman Bene, and then the whole time the two people are not together. My God. But anyway, you fighting for the woman. I said she didn't want you no more. And that love was strong. But anyway, so the conversation now is that people want her to be quiet. They feel like she cannot damage or tarnish Will Smith's reputation in a way that he acted out of character when he walked up on stage and slapped Chris Rock for talking about her or by talking making fun of her bald head. But her most recent memoir that's coming up, she wrote a book. Memoirs are just talking about yourself and just telling people about some deep secret about yourself and your family, right? So she wrote a book and she talked about the fact that she and Will Smith have been separated since 2016.
Child.
It's shocking to the whole world because
Shocking.
wait, 2 years, not even 2 years ago, the man was slapping somebody for her on stage. Prior to that, the man found out that she had an entanglement with a man with her son friend, the labor that had some problems, and she chose to comfort him.
Yeah, it got my.
She got,
You know
but
what?
anyway, so all that being said, she's been in the public a lot, but this one is shocking to everybody. So we just want to discuss it in a sense like, are you able to hide such a thing from everybody? Like you're separated for this long? Why talk about it now? People are saying she's only doing it to get her book to sell. Um, and honestly, she's getting a lot of heat for this. Co-host, what are your
Because nobody asked her.
Look, I'm about sick of her. Okay, like I can't imagine myself just having the disrespect. Even if we were no longer in that space,
yeah?
I would not just for a book, for a memoir. I don't care what it is. I would never try to tarnish, his character. Not that she's doing that, but she's kind of doing that, and I don't like that because I feel like he's always, even when she's tried to embarrass him multiple times, he's always trying to cover up,
Yeah.
the scandal. Not the scandal, the relationship she had with August. He came and said, oh, we weren't together. Even if y'all weren't together, that just wasn't her place to go date your son, both of your sons friend. Like, I just thought that was ridiculous. But they moved past that. Now you're talking about Tupac, who's not alive. I'm sorry, but like you glorify him. We get it. If he was alive, that would be the man you would be with.
How
And
she know?
you probably marry Will by, I guess he was the last option you felt. So you wanted to marry him. We get it. But stop embarrassing him. It's enough.
Hey sis, hey auntie.
Well,
Enough is enough. Nobody asked her for this information. I'm just over the whole thing. If you manage to be quote unquote separated for 7 years and none of us asked, nobody looking for you. But all of a sudden now you're coming up with this book now, so now you have to explain all of those things. In the interview, she said he called me his wife. She was surprised when he called her his wife.
I mean, y'all are not divorced. So
Separated?
wife.
You're still his wife. So what is the shocker?
Oh, I didn't even hear that part.
Yes.
Steve, what your input? You're a guy, because we're coming from a woman perspective. Because I have something else to say about what she said.
But what, before the guy come in, let me tell you why I feel like they're separated.
Oh, I'm sorry. Babe.
They're separated because he cannot stand to move past the fact that she was messing with that young boy. So they couldn't go back to being intimate. So they were just roommates, housemates, because he couldn't get over it. Y'all know how these niggas are. They could not take the heat.
After they could bring the heat, but they can't handle it when it come back to them.
If he would have been public with a 20-something-year-old girl, she would have forgiven him and she would have moved on. The reason why they're separated because Will cannot move past it, and I feel like it's making her vexed. So I watch it coming out about that separation. Period.
Wow, I wasn't even thinking about that route, but I was just gonna say let's keep talking. Let me talk about the part that I want to talk about, because Jennifer, you just shocked me with that response. But okay.
I thought it was both of them. Will can move past it.
The records thing is Tupac. She was talking about Tupac.
Oh yeah, Leontine. That part is about Tupac.
I think from a man's perspective, I think, I kind of follow the story I read about them here and there. First of all, let me just put it from a man's perspective. I think Will Smith has set the standard or created an avenue to be disrespected as a man. So I don't feel sorry for him.
Wow.
I think he undermined himself, he undermined his manhood, and he continues to do that. So I to be honest with you, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, woman treating the man bad and the man just dead. No, Will Smith is not a fool. He has money. He understands life. He's not a little boy. He set the stage for that. First of all, let me just say this. Whether you're a woman or you're a man, any woman or any man that sleeps with your son's friend, that's total dishonoring. That's one of the lowest level of being dishonored. Especially, listen, this is not a joking matter. These things have long-term impact on people's life personally, from a relationship standpoint, even from the children. It sends a different message. And so if you choose to dishonor yourself or dishonor other people, truly speaking, I'm not going to be part of that. Let's just be very. It's one thing for somebody to say, well, they would choose to be with something of the age group. That's one thing. But going that low to dishonor yourself, and I see him passing around and talking about you will slap somebody for somebody. Second of all, let's clear this thing up here. Let's be very honest. Will Smith made a choice to go in public and attack someone. He's a grown man. He needs to take full responsibility. He needs to take full responsibility of his action, and he needs to face the consequences.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Another part of it, maybe we need to clear out is this. Let me tell you something. If you married to the court and you got legal paper, all that other foolishness of, and we're separated or whatever it is, even a lawyer married, you'll leave all that foolish agreement.
You're right.
Honest, because people, let me say this. The law is the law. You can't say you will pass the law. You have to have your mutual agreement. That's understandable, right? But the facts still remain. So for him to say that his wife, and she gets shocked, is to tell you that, first of all, this woman does not even care about him. Second of all, this woman is out to destroy him, whether he believes in a business. Third of all, which one the woman you are married to another man, you passing around talking about staying in love with another man that died a long time ago. That's
a level of disrespect, Steve.
That's a level of disrespect.
You glorify that man more than you glorify
It is undermining. It is preposterous. It's unacceptable. But at the same time, I can't blame her, because guess what? He passing around here and bouncing around, making it look like his life is so surrounded around her that the air he breathes, and he can't take back a man who and put his life together. Listen, nobody should feel sorry for Will Smith.
I'm sorry, boss. You mean by his manhood? He's taking his manhood. What do you mean by that?
Why does it take a manhood? I mean, in other words, how do you sit there and allow a woman to disrespect you always?
So how is he supposed to act? I'm sorry, how are you supposed to act? He's supposed to be giant, curse her out?
No. Listen. Let me tell you something.
Some boundaries too. The man wrote that book. Steve, wait a second. He wrote that book, but in that book, nowhere did he talk about her or disrespect her than how she just did in hers.
Absolutely not. She did not. You're right.
Karina, let me tell you something. Let me say this. let me say this: any man who knows himself, any man who honors himself as a man, respect himself and know his dignity. So you start a foolishness, keep it moving. The thing when you get that, you think that nobody else get it. We'll see.
Right.
You who don't disrespect me. You who
Yeah.
everywhere you go, you disrespect.
We do. Me, I don't know what you, Steve.
Is that you?
You know what I do? You know what I do? I will officially turn you on to your family. Really quick. I will have a party to turn you on.
Oh, not the whole party, Steve. Come on, you can go that low.
But be around.
But let me just say this: that woman bringing Will Smith value and down every day. Oh Lord.
Yes.
But let me just say this: the idea of being separated that you just clicked, that you touched on. When does that? When people say, "Oh, marriage is not an option," divorce is not an option, like she said, right? So because she said divorce is not an option for her, that's why they're still married today and moving on. They're still married, even though they haven't been living together. When does that change? What situation will make it be an option? I just want to know, because in their situation, it's clear that you don't really care about this man. So why do you still legally want to be married to him?
Maybe this one.
Why? Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And let me say this: most time when I say these things, I become very unpopular for saying these things, but I will say it so I can be on record, right? This issue of divorce is not an option. It's in their head and their consent and their agreement, two of them. The truth of the matter is, divorce is always an option and an expectation in any marriage. There are two expectations in a marriage. Two expectations. Sometimes you don't have to agree with it. Sometimes you have to agree with it. They are there. They are inexistent. One of them is divorce. One of them is divorce. The other expectation is cheating. Either they will cheat on you or you will cheat on somebody, knowingly or unknowingly. Then let's see. I can get unpopular when I say these things because
I just knew you were going down some kind of route. Yeah.
Look. Let me say this. There are some things that let's take for example, the expectation of a woman sleeping with another man that is unprotected at 2. Either you get pregnant or you could get some kind of sickness or whatever it is, or some kind of disease, right? The expectations. Now that's something that you're praying for, and that's something that you wish for, but it could possibly happen, right? So I'm saying in a marriage too, there are two expectations: divorce or cheating. And the issue of cheating, most time people think you got to know about it. Whether you know about it or not, people don't ask you permission for that. So these expectations are there. Whether you agree to them or not, they are the facts. The fact that you to get married, not today, that these are expectations that exist in marriages. Okay. And what I want to talk about
expectations that we have to expect. Like
exactly. No, these are expectations that
expect divorce, expect cheating. So my question the last time is, if you already expect it, why get upset when it happened?
No, not necessarily. So here's the thing.
Because people don't expect it. Like
no.
I think it was last week or so I asked that question.
I think we make a mistake on realistic expectation and our expectation of other people. The reason people get upset is because it is their expectation of the next person. But what if that is not the person's expectation? What if this is what they want to do? Your expectation is you might not do it. However, why if the person chooses to do it? What do you do? So you see it. So the scene where somebody will decide that they will go to the court.
Well, it's an agreement.
Which agreement?
So I feel like these kind of conversations, like divorce is not an option, cheating should not happen. Y'all both got to get into it as an agreement. You vow not to cheat on me, I vow not to cheat on you, I vow divorce is not an option for us. I think it's an agreement. I don't think that, I feel like these conversations should be held, and then you hold the person more accountable to the fact that we agreed upon these things. We both said that we want to do it, right? Then you
remember what I said to y'all last week as well, that everything is to each its own, Steve.
Exactly.
Maybe my deal breaker is not you cheating. Maybe my deal breaker is don't be disrespectful to me. Or if you are disrespectful. You know what I mean? So it can't, so it's not an expectation for everybody, because it's like
exactly.
Well, I mean, maybe he's living his life, but
I
he's
think that's what Vanessa is saying as far as like everything that's involved. Maybe like the
I know some Tuku said money too. The money, it's all money. It's all about business with them. And that's honestly, true. I really feel like that's what it is. They both got a lot to lose, especially Will. And if you know the American system, they value marriage. We were talking about it. We're talking about it. 2 politicians currently that are Black, that are in politics in America, that we feel as though people don't take seriously. And that's the senator for Georgia. And because why he's not married.
They're single,
Remember that he didn't get a lot of vote because a lot of Christians believe that he is not married, but he's a minister. And then the second one is Cory Booker. I'm just talking about the importance of marriage, why people want to stay in it, even though they're separated, because at the end of the day, people look at a married to be like, oh my God, you're married. That's a great thing. You're more valued in society because you found somebody, you're married, you're more respected. Is it fair to really look at people like that or really take this married thing and just put it so high and judge people? Because that's what's happening with those two politicians. Today, Cory Booker is still hanging around. People can really take him serious because he's not married.
So here is something I wanted to bring to our attention quickly on the monetary aspect of Will Smith before I come to this whole part of to contribute to this. People setting this standard, right? Here is the truth of the matter. I agree that there could be some monetary and other benefit aspect, but how about we look at the emotional connection that Will Smith might have with her?
Yeah.
Maybe emotionally Will Smith attached to her. Do you know what it means for a man to know that a woman slept with somebody else? Let me say this. You know, most times I hear women saying,
"That's why you can move on, Steve."
Most times I hear women.
That's why he's stuck.
Because they don't see it from a man's perspective. Most time, you know what they say? They say, "Oh, you know, when men cheats, we accept it, but soon we cheat one time or we do that one, then they get pissed off." Let me tell you something. Let me say this. And maybe it doesn't sound that way, but here is a truth behind all of this thing as men. One of our most valuable thing that we have as men is to be honored. And once somebody else sleeps with somebody that we care about, it becomes an issue of dishonor for us. Y'all see it as, oh, I just paid debt. We see it as dishonoring. And any man, I will tell you today, any man that gets to the point where his honor does not matter to him, fear that man. That man becomes automatically not only your slave, that man loses his value, that man loses himself. That's why it's important for all the women to be very careful for a man to not lose himself in you. Because then you will have a mumu. And you don't want a mumu.
But I like that. Like, I want a man to be all about me. You know that, right?
The man being about you that one thing, but being a mumu is another thing.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't want the man to be
West that rich, how you call it, star, public figure, mumu.
God. Why you have to be all that, Steve?
Guess what? Nobody takes him seriously because this woman finds all avenues to dishonor him at every time and all levels. Imagine a man goes and gets in trouble because of you, only in the name of protecting you. But you turn around and throw that same man on the bus. So that is the thing. The problem is not with her. The problem is with him.
So the guy slapped Chris because
that's still his mother, the mother of his children.
Yeah, people are speculating that, but that's the truth.
Not because she had alopecia. I'm sorry. Because this was all because Chris asked her out.
Touch man, how you know? But no, I hear you though. That's disrespectful. The fact that Chris can ask this woman out, that's disrespect. Because at the time,
she said only a girl around me.
No. I don't think that's disrespect.
It is.
How
I think that's disrespect.
They're in the industry.
Here is the thing. You see, the thing that people don't understand is this. Why you set expectations for somebody else when you have the person have their own expectation? Why you think you shouldn't do that? He's a man. Why you think you shouldn't do that?
Because y'all made a vow to each other, Steve.
So you saying Chris asking Jada out?
Exactly.
What does that have to do with Will and Jada?
Exactly. Look. Let me tell you something. What a guy named Will Smith did not make a pact with Chris.
Okay. Yeah.
So Chris owes Will Smith nothing.
You're right.
Has all the rights in the world to ask Jada out. It is Jada's responsibility to redirect him and say, listen, don't cross that line. I don't do this. I don't do that, and draw the lines. You see, when women start saying, I'm married, when you say that to a man that I'm married, what you're telling that man in essence is, I would have agreed, but the only thing there is I'm married. That's why men will tell you, say, and I'm
just
yeah.
No, you can't talk for us women now. You can't be making a comment and generalizing when women say this. I really mean, like, respect my ring and get away from me.
Let me take it back and say not all women, but this is where some women need to learn. Some women, let me use the word some.
So what's a better response, Steve?
Some women need to learn to be assertive and not put those conditions that are married. Tell this person, no, it's not going to happen, and stick with it. Because when you lay those conditions, you know what the person will say? You know the next thing the man will say? But that your husband I want, or that your boyfriend I want, that you. Because you lay a condition as opposed to telling them, say, that's how we men, most of us think.
So what should we say? I'm not interested, sir.
Exactly.
So
I'm not
if Chris knew that Jada was all about Will, he would have never approached.
Okay.
No, they can know mine. They can
I
say
think they would know and they would still do it anyway because they want to try, like Steve saying, they want to see how far they can get pretty much because you're not telling him I'm not interested.
About August, he said, "Let me try my luck. What's up?"
All right, y'all. We got to
So
move on
let's
because we
move
don't want to
on
lose.
because we could talk about them all day.
So they got to the standard of marriage thing that you put on that.
No.
Oh, yes. No, let's speak on that and we'll move on.
Because here is the thing though. There are some jobs in the United States also that would require. It's not discriminatory. As you go further in your profession, there are some jobs, some of the criteria is you must be a married person. And the reason for that is they feel it's a sense of responsibility and so forth. So I give you an example, right?
Yep.
I give you an example. Somebody close to me went for some kind of interview with the FBI. And one of the major questions that was asked, they asked about not only his finances, his credits, they also asked about his marriage and so forth. Even some jobs in America also, especially in the security sector and other places, require you to be single and with no attachment. The reason for that is you will be at risk, especially if you're joining certain security agency. You will be at risk. They don't want any kind of emotional attachment that will make you vulnerable or keep you away or keep holding you back to certain things. So these are different standards that are set in different society. But here is the thing. The issue of being a senator or so forth, that's not a requirement, right? And I want to say this to everybody. Not being married is not a sin.
We're not looking at it as a sin. It's just a society that puts her in stigma.
Oh, society.
Well, we know it happened, so we're just gonna speak on it. You just talked about, like, we know it happened. That's why they want to be married, because they gain a lot from being married. So with that being said, we're gonna move on from Will and Jada in the marriage conversation. We're gonna go on to other topics. What we hitting on?
Let's talk about Israel real quick. There's a lot happening. The group, they're from Palestine, I believe. Hamas attacked Israel this week and have killed almost over
1,300 people.
And the number keeps increasing. I apologize for my kids. They're like high on sugar tonight. And so more and more we keep seeing these videos that are coming out with kids being, like fathers holding their children, mothers crying. It's devastating.
Yes.
But I just want to say that I'm not shocked, because the Bible does mention all this, that these things will happen. We just have to pray, I guess, for comfort for the families, and just hope to God that it will come to a stop.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I don't understand the reason for this attack, because they said there's some saying that said they're doing it because of the way Israel treat women and children, but then you're killing women and children there. So it's contradicting. Like, why? You're saying that it mistreat women and children. You attack concert goers that is full of women and children. So what's the point?
Yeah.
But then we got to go to the historical context of this conversation, because this particular war didn't just start happening today. Here is the truth behind this. The two groups that are fighting, they are the two offsprings of the choice that Abraham made. This is where this thing started. So one group is claiming that land is for them. The other group is saying, no, this is our land, this is for us. So this conflict has been in existence, like Karina said, even from biblical days. You understand? So some of these things that we do, sometimes the consequences are there, right? The choices, right? And sometimes they live up from generations and so forth. And we'll see some of these things even in politics when we talk about the political part of it. So what's happening today is unexpectedly Hamas attacked, right? But here's what Israel is doing. Israel is also strategically positioning themselves and saying that they gave up to the citizens of Hamas. There's 1.1 million people. They want these people to get out of there. But Hamas is telling the citizens to stay there so that they can present Israel as, a war crimes people, just in case they damage that area. But I can say this, because we are also following the news. I can say this for a fact that Israel will not relent. There will be consequences for what
We
happened.
know that that's gonna happen. So, but my thing is, how are the other countries or other nations, how they intervene in this? Because this is sad that this is actually happening.
The United States is actually not only forcefully backing
Israel.
Israel, and other European countries are, you know, and no disrespect, the United States has a long-standing ally
Relationship with them.
or relationship with Israel, and
Yeah.
this is never going to stop. You remember when Kanye West misbehaved on the Jewish people? You saw how his wealth went from this, it plumped
Yep.
down.
There was a
Now,
lot of deal for that.
exactly, this is to tell you that there are certain people that are protected to some extent, and the Israelites, they've been through a lot. What my only thing here is, sometimes don't provoke people in an unprovoked manner. There is no need for this at this time.
Yes.
I think that's where the issue is. If there are any other issue, it was okay to red flag it and get other people involved and use diplomatic means to get it resolved. As
Exactly.
opposed to going and attacking
And
Israel,
attacking. Yes.
it's troubling.
Yeah. But I actually was the one that said to Karina and them this week that we always talk about the end time, right? You said there will be war, there will be this, and I think this is that time. We keep talking about it, but it's happening. Like there was no need for this, but now it's happening. So we pray for the families that have lost their loved ones, and we even pray for the families now that are being threatened. And I hope that they really listen and leave that area because there's no reason why I should stay knowing that this could happen at any time. So with that being said, we're praying for the family. We want to talk about it. It's trending topics. You also we have to hit on little topics. We're coming to our politics because I feel like we'll take on the whole show. So
Yeah, just before we get to the politics, last week I told you guys I wanted to update you guys on the Lucas and the Jessica's case.
oh yes.
Yes, because I'm in touch with someone who's I got an update as a matter of fact today. Like I said to you guys, let me say this: the issue of politics in our country, cases that should be adjudicated through the laws, the courts, and so forth, they're not the normal and the regular thing they do there. Basically, what I'm saying in essence is, if you get connections and you know people and you get money, some things you will get away with it. That's just the fact of the matter in Liberia. So as we stand, Lucas tried to bail out. Lucas attempted to bail out, uh, uh, telling the judge that he's not well, he's this, he's that. Well, as of now, here's a caveat. As of now, he is in jail, and they refuse his bond. Now, listen,
Yeah.
however, I'm reliably informed that the case is pushed to February next year, and the reasoning for that is, quote unquote, they have a political case or another death case, which is with the former Chief Justice Gloria Musu-Scott.
Mr. Scott. Yep.
Here's a caveat I want to put behind this. Most Liberians, we have short attention span, which means, in other words, we don't remember things. We jump from one news story to another. We don't go on news. So I believe from what I said before, this is the time to buy time so that they can do what they want to do behind closed doors. How many people from now to February will want to stay talking about Lucas' case in the Liberian community?
Hello. Lucas is still going to be in jail because they will keep denying it. And that's all that matters. He's not getting the privilege that he would have gotten if he was in jail in America. He don't get to have 3 meals a day, watch TV, have outside time. He better hope his poor wife bring him some food. Okay? And the fact that we're talking about it now just proves the point that we're trying to say that this case will be different. This case will be different. It will not be another, it gets stuck on the wrong case because he's a Caucasian man. No, it will not be. And so yes, favorite, to answer your question, he will stay in jail for now. February we'll come back and talk about it.
Yeah, no problem. We
Thank God, I saw that.
We are happy that he's behind bars. All right, so let's move on. We want to congratulate Davido and Chelma on the birth of their twin. I don't know if it was boys or girls. Couldn't really tell. We just seen her with 2 babies in her hand. So congratulations to her. She God took one kid, give her 2 more.
Oh Lord.
Congratulations to them.
While they're speaking of Davido, in as much that we're congratulating him, in as much that we're congratulating them a few weeks ago, a few months ago, wasn't there the same Davido that some Liberian women or some Liberian people wanted them to get separated because of the alleged cheating, and the lady had to step out and say, "Put you mind a business and leave them alone."
This is a husband and wife having child together after they've tragically lost another child. I think that's the only reason why we would celebrate this one, because out of that tragedy, something good came out of it. Now, did that stop him from being a whore? Like we said, these men will cheat and get women pregnant while he's still married, while his wife is still mourning. No, that
Thank
didn't
you
stop
very much.
him. So of
Thank
course
you
we'll
very much.
criticize him.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so you want to talk about us criticizing him? That's why we criticize him. A married man with a grieving wife, you talk upon our time to go born to other children or other women out there. Then you think we're not going to criticize you?
He was stressed out. He was having a rough time.
Thank you very much.
So, but now we'll congratulate them, especially her, because it was a tragedy and something good came out of it. And then you got to understand, she's still hurting because, mind you, after the tragedy, more tragedy came in the cheating scandal and other children in. So
Yeah.
now her children said not even her own children. You gotta kind of thing there.
The
But,
money
but when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, you know, that blessing, and we say children are blessing from God, and we Christians too.
Oh God.
the money will wipe her tears, man.
No, it's not about children are blessing from God, but if you're married, you should keep your marital team.
So remember, so now you want to agree with me that these are expectations.
Oh, Steve, I'm actually the one who brought this thing up. I said,
Thank
if
you.
this has been drilled in our head, right?
Thank you very
It's
much.
expectation, right?
Thank you very much.
Why would we get vexed with it? We expect it to happen. So,
Thank you very
not
much.
cheating out for one person, right?
Thank you very much.
If I go cheat too, expect it to happen. Why
Thank
you
you
want to
very
leave
much.
me?
And now Westminster that you're not leaving too. Thank you very much.
Then you calling him Mumu.
Yeah,
So
the
I'm
reason-
making Mumu.
You see, the thing about it is this. The reason I call him a celebrity, rich, famous Mumu is because at his level, this is not one time. This is not on one occasion, right? It's one thing for somebody to do something wrong and it comes to light and apologizes and you'll move on, right? But this is a continuous attack on him as a person. Every time she has the opportunity, she throws him under the bus.
We agree that she's
That's
disrespectful.
problematic. That's troubling. That is troubling. That's where I come from. But I mean, and I think maybe he needs to stand up and man up. I'm not saying to speak negative of her in public or whatever. You know, people will not do that. Some men don't do that, right? Some men too got shot more than will talk. You thought they will talk too, right?
No, he's too respectful. However, I suppose it's trending topics. We're talking everything. We're talking about Will
Yeah,
Smith.
so excited for you to be here because we're talking your favorite subject
But
tonight.
today, Opa, we're coming to talk about politics. We're supposed to have Kevin and Steve on here because
Kelvin,
you know
we're going to call in.
okay, because you know your girls, we try to stay away from politics, but we can't help it because it happening. You know, the people say it happening yet. It already happening. The elections have happened already. We are glad it's over with.
It ain't
We're
over,
glad-
babe. It ain't over.
We're
Let's
glad it
go.
was peaceful, but now the people counting, and as far as I know, my grandpa's supposed to be winning, but now they say that open.
So without further ado,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, tonight we will be discussing Liberia's 2023 election,
Your
which
time.
was held October 10th, 2023. Today is October 13th, and we are still wondering who is president of Liberia.
What is
Why
Yeah.
is that?
Well, you know, that's a good question. And I know you guys are not involved with the politics of Liberia or other places. You hear by here and there.
No, we've been following on Facebook. Don't tell we're not involved in politics.
Okay, all right, no problem. I take it back. But
To attack.
so since we want to talk about the politics of Liberia, then I think it's important for us to
Hold on, why you be talking to you? Make me calling Kelvin.
there is less than 3 million people that voted, right? So this process should be
quicker?
passed to count or so forth. But this speaks volume of our country and all the beamer we get as Liberians. We worth nothing.
Amen.
Listen now, listen.
Disclaimer: we
Let
will
me see.
talk about Liberia today, but we love our country.
Let me say this: we worth nothing. We just get big muff. We don't do what is right for our country. We are divided on things that we're supposed to unite on. This is the result that in the 21st century, to even get light, but now we're supposed to vote electronically. Look, these things supposed to be counted in the thing of I will know the result we move. The same night, right? Imagine America have millions of people. Before you make all your mind, the results are projected. In less than 24 hours, you know who's there is no ambiguity, there is no noise inside, right? But let me tell you something. Let me tell you what's going on. You know,
Tell us, yeah, Steve.
a few weeks ago, I normally do the podcast on SKTV. And I know Karina following the guy in the
Yeah, my
politics.
dear. You came in with the activity.
She can be spouting all they coming watching the show. You want that? You want that?
Yeah, man.
So what happened is what we are seeing today of things that we overlook, things that we ignore and joke with.
Yeah.
Some things that we should have nipped in the bud from the beginning so that it does not get us to where we are today.
Yeah.
We overlooked it. And you know who's there? Let's leave it with God. And let it with God, right? So we left it with God. Now we have come to the place now where we are more likely might not leave it with God because possibly, I'm saying here tonight, I won't be on record on your show. And I'm responsible for my words. Possibly, if care is not taken, this could go out of hand. People will lose their lives, and it will be very, very dangerous and bad. Let me tell you why. If you go on my Facebook page, a couple of times I've made some public pronunciation to the Liberian people. My warning was, please don't vote anything Joseph Boakai. Don't vote anything George Weah. If you want peace, security, prosperity, and moving forward, leave these two people. And the reason for that is what we have come to today. When people feel entitled, when people are desperate, and when people feel that they have something to protect, it is a problem in
Of course.
the United Party with Joseph Boakai wants to come back to power after they've led 12 years. George Weah them are saying they would have been there 6 years. They allowed them to go for 12 years. Why the men won't move? Why they should move from there now? Even though they're not doing what they're supposed to do, to stay there. But why they should move them from there now? Why? So they want that 1 or 12 years too. They don't care if the country is going in the right direction or not. They think they must be there for 12 years because other people have 12 years. So you see the entitlement syndrome. You see look, and this in itself is
But
troubling.
Steve, I just have to say, right? We all know that the vice presidents are usually sitting ducks. So it was Ellen going really for, yes, he was the vice president for 12 years, but he couldn't really do much because Ellen was running the show.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, because you said that was such a compliment. I don't think that's what happened, Karina.
I wouldn't say so.
I really want us.
Wants to come in real quick. Can y'all hear him?
Not yet.
Speak, Kelvin.
How are you? Good morning from my side and good evening for your side.
How you
And
doing?
I'm Kelvin, and I was to be on the show visually, but Safari is giving me some tough time on my phone. So based on that, I'm not there visually, but how be it, the audio too is not bad. And I'm listening in it to whatever you guys are discussing, and I know for the fact that this particular election is full of fraud, is fraudulent. There are a lot of things that are unfolding and that are very, very clear and visible to the Liberian people. There are a lot of shocking news that we are getting, people that we never even heard their names, and now we are seeing them with votes ahead of somebody that we all expected at least to come to the winner or never set their case. So based on that, from what I observed, because I was in Nema County, serving as observer for the CPP chairman there where he won. And from what I saw, the people actually turned out hugely. It was my very first time seeing a very huge turnout in an election in this country. So that tells you that the Liberian people are fed up with this government. The Liberian people are fed up with this government. But yes, it doesn't mean that in order to remove President Weah, then we should bring another President Weah pro max. That simply in regards to what Steve said, that President Mubarak cannot be the option to redeem or rescue this country, because a man who served as vice president for 12 years and he had budget over 2.8 million United dollars, and he wealth served as the head for a group of 7 seconds that control over $1 million United dollars for the amputated people within this country. And up to now, there's nothing she had done to better the lives of those people. Yesterday, they seen Joe Parker man served as LPMC boss, and then he was kind of dismissed for corruption scandal. He went to LPRC on President Bush's regime, wherein he got a recall for a convention that he went for in London, and then when he came, he got sacked. And the reason why he got sacked because he embezzled $2 billion United dollars. So this is the man that the Unity Party is proclaiming to the claim. This is the man that the so-called rescue mission is telling us that Joseph Boga is distinct, is different from the remaining characters that we have, that which we are aware of, that Mr. Cummings is the most competent person in the race. But you know, this country that we are in, Liberia, we do not support people that are good.
Calvin,
We do not support people that are...
How do you know that Cummins is the most competent man? What has he done to prove that?
Cummins' record speaks for itself, right?
It sure does.
Are you getting me?
I'm listening to you.
I thought that my uncle.
Okay, Cummins' record speaks for itself. This is a man that exceeded to one of the biggest positions that a black man, most especially a Liberian, can ever dream of in his or her life. And he has excelled there not because of the kind of connection that he had, it is because of the character, the integrity, how impeccable he is. That's why we're talking there. And this is the man that controlled over 30 billion United dollar budget. Imagine vice president for administration, all of the administrative aspect of Coca-Cola was run by Mr. Cummings without having anything called corruption against his name, without having anything to thin his character.
That's who? Were you in the company?
Karina, you hear things. How are you divided if you hear things?
It's a huge company, babe. They cover things all the time.
Karina, you hear things. How do you know about these people's character if you don't hear it? You hear things. Go ahead, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
This particular man that I'm talking about, this Coca-Cola company is worldwide, well known. There's nothing that will happen in Coca-Cola for somebody that is seen to be in second man in command and then carry on a corrupt act. Then the Western man, the white man, let's just say the white man, allow it to be under the carpet. It does not work that way in America. And you are aware, because I believe that most of you or every one of you are in the state. It doesn't work that way in America. I don't care you be who, as long you have entrapped the system, it will go for you than what they are doing to Donald Trump. So who is coming? Who is coming? A Liberian guy like I went to school to Don Bosco. I was born in Perfo, in Gary. Where is he before he will do some corrupt act and then he's not being tinted out there? So this is the same man I said, I'm coming back home to serve my country and prioritize jobs opportunity, because the government cannot provide jobs for over 50% of the population. He's saying that I will come and prioritize the private sector, make sure I attract foreign and direct investment to come and open companies and industries so the young people will not wake up in the morning to go to check up boy and be playing, check up Lulu, be doing all sorts of things in the community. This is one of the reasons why you're seeing the rape cases are being escalating in this country, because the young people are not doing nothing. They are frustrated. They are in the communities when the little girls' parents go out to go hustle. What happens next? That man go to the next door, what is happening when he go low, he raped that person.
All right, Kevin, hold that thought, Kevin. Kevin, hold that thought, please. We want to just come in from our perspectives as far as what you just said. Welcome, SB. If you're just joining us, please share the show. Please share the show if you're joining us tonight. Like we said, y'all know your girls on here. We don't like to talk about politics, but tonight we're diving into Liberia's politics
Oh, we
tonight
finna go to talk about it tonight, honey, because
only because of the current election at hand. But before Steve say anything, Steve, I want to say tonight, when it comes to anything, I'm listening to you about politics tonight. Only because I 100% agree with what you said as far as don't vote for either candidate. 100% agree. I said vote for Cummings for the reasons what Calvin just listed. But that was my lid. I mean, America.
Because Calvin just listed reasons. Now, did you do your own research?
Prior to that, yes. Remember, I wanted to have one and his running mate up here. Come on, you think I'm just gonna go there? That I just telling you. And I talked to my people back home. So with that being said, Mike,
before your entire life,
Karina,
Kevin, what you say?
have you seen a story about Mr. Cummings being a corrupt person in your entire life? Everywhere
No. We haven't.
no.
I've seen nothing of nothing.
so
We don't know him. We don't know what he
And
has
that is your
done.
problem.
So let me chime in really quick here. You see, the thing about it is we have a huge advantage, right, on this platform. All of us, we are educated, we have access to internet. So anything people say, it's good to fact check it. Let's say Karina, I agree with Karina that she doesn't know him and she's not aware of him. The question is, are you interested in getting to know him? If yes, then double check what this man has said to you.
That's right.
Go to Coca-Cola Foundation right here. While he was talking, I will print it out. Go and even see when Cummings retired, the commendation they gave him. Go and see what they wrote about him. Again, sometimes when we say these things in public, you know what people say? Oh, and you Cummings supporter. No, it's not about supporter. It's about the facts. Because let's speak about where the facts leads. That's the most important thing. Now, back to the statement I was making earlier. Where we are now, and Kelvin said it right. Let me tell you something. We are only here today talking about the Liberian election because the process was not only fraudulent, the process was stolen, and this is a serious problem. Many of you, maybe, you might not be aware, maybe Karina or other people, the war in Liberia. You know what, bro? That they see election business. In 1985, there was a guy in Nima County that ran against Doe. In fact, last week, Saturday, I was at the wedding with his son. Last week, Saturday. They call him Fia Doe. He partnered me with Jackson F. Doe. He came from the Nima side. Jackson F. Doe was very popular, decided to run in the 1985 election. However, Jackson F. Doe won the election. Doe took the election for him. Doe stole the election for him. Fast forward, Doe became president. Now, at that time, you know who were the election commission? They called the guy Hammer. His last name is Hammer. Hammer presided over the election, and they did a scene kind of crooked deal because some of our Liberian brothers and sisters, they think when they crook you, the smarter. And that's not being smart. When you crook people, that's not being smart. It just means that you are doing something that you'll be cut later on. Fast forward, in 1990, the war came through. But again, it started off with this election in Nima County that was stolen.
Yeah.
For Jackson F. Doe. Now, the reason I'm saying this is this. We've won people. We also won the Liberian people that the President George, we are in the CDC, we're gearing up to steal the election because we have the facts, we have the conversations, and some of the tricks they decided to employ. Let me say this to everybody who's listening. I don't care which party you're from. I don't care who you decide to support. That is your inherent right? But what we should care about is this. The will of the people must not be aborted. That's where the problem comes.
People went out. Yeah.
And sometimes, I'm seeing people laughing and joking, and Cummings not getting number, the other person not getting number. But here's the truth, though. Here's the truth behind all of this. If today, Karina is laughing at Howard because I stole from Howard, but Karina and Howard are friends, then Jennifer hears about it and she starts to laugh at Howard as well. But otherwise, we are friends, though. There's a possibility that I will steal from either Jennifer or Karina. And so it can be a laughing issue. It should be an accountability thing where I'll be held accountable for stealing. So at this point, we as Liberians need to ensure that we hold whoever is responsible for these elections, let the facts be known to the people. And whoever you can steal the election, you can do what you're doing, so then you bring a somebody who's nobody ever heard about. You No, let me
Somebody
say
mute
this.
yourself, please.
On your show, let me say it because tomorrow we'll discuss it in depth on SKTV. Do you know that the guy who they're calling Epiton today, do you know
What was that today?
we are reliably informed that NEC had to call him 2 months to the election to say he qualified for the election. That does not meet the criteria and the standard of the election. You can't register in 2 months and then that's wrong. So you see, what I'm saying in essence is
Yeah, Liberia.
problem on our hand, and we should stop joking around because it will cost the lives of people. It will create chaos and problems.
Yeah.
It will serious trouble, and people are laughing as people joking on Facebook. They're not
That's it.
joking. We need to take this thing
And
seriously.
this is serious matter.
You see me saying that in America today, I stood online for buckwheat. I lived in different countries. And you know what? I don't want that to happen to anybody where you are forced to go learn somebody own a language or you're forced to stay in line and your dignity is taken from you. So that's why you see someone we are passionate about the politics. We're not passionate. I don't want job in Liberia. I'm good. But we have to stand for what is right so that other people are not affected. And so when you see us talking the way we talk, we're not talking because I hate Joey or because I want Joseph Boyka or I want Cummings. I just want the right thing to be done. And that's where all of us should get. So, Karina, maybe you can get to know Mr. Cummings. You probably like him.
And Liberians don't know.
The girls that will check out Mr. Cummings, they can like him.
I didn't really see much of what they were having like basement meetings when they came here, and I didn't see the like edge, right? Like I didn't hear what exactly they wanted to do. It wasn't publicized.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, so y'all didn't push as much as y'all, let's say y'all wanted this so badly. Y'all just didn't.
I think they did, but it just didn't have the support because of the same mindset that you have. As far as nobody know you,
Let me come in.
we don't know you. But I have SB on the phone that want to add his input too. So I'm gonna unmute him so he can just add his 2 cents. Okay, go ahead, SB.
Hello?
Yes, they can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Good, thank you. Well, thanks for having me on the show. I just wanted to just say a few things.
Can you guys hear him?
Yeah. Hey, speak up a little bit.
All right, speak up.
Oh, okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. You want to talk to not talk to us.
I just wanted to chime in quickly and say a few things, and not take a lot of you guys' time. I think Kevin already laid out all of Cummings' accomplishment, and while many of us believe that he was the best candidate in this race, but besides the fact that we support Cummings, right? I want Liberians to sit and realize what is happening right in front of our eyes in modern history, as we have seen in these elections, that this government has deliberately compromised our democracy. They're pretty much telling us to our face, right in front of us, that whatever constitutional rights you have, whatever you think your vote means, and the impact that your vote should have, we can do whatever we want to do with it. And as a Liberian, it has to bother you. Don't get me wrong, I was disappointed to see, the numbers that came up for Cummings. Obviously, we all know what's happening. It's not true. It makes no sense. But as a Liberian, not just a supporter of Cummings, but just a Liberian, to see how these guys are so, vicious, that they will go to any limit because of power and greed and abuse our democracy. You should be bothered as a Liberian, regardless of who you support.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing right now and we're taking lightly could be catastrophic.
Yeah.
These are the kind of things that can lead to destruction, loss of life. You do not play with people's livelihood.
Yeah.
You know what it took for people to get democracy? Do you know what it took to become for countries to become independent states? Do you know how many lives were lost? Do you know the kind of resources that went into it? And today we have a government that's supposed to protect the state in a democratic way, and they're doing the complete opposite. And I'm sitting down and I'm watching fellow Liberians celebrating it only because it is impacting another candidate in a negative way.
Yeah.
And we all of us as Liberians should be appalled by this.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
It's a travesty. Our democracy right in front of our eyes is being played with no remorse, with no caution, nothing whatsoever.
So to your point, I saw Lofa post um Talia Ure, and I went to her page, and all I could see was so much hate for the Unity Party. And for me, okay, yes, you're a supporter of Cummins, but I think it was a little bit extreme. So it's all that hating that's going across between her, the other folks that I'm looking at on Facebook, the Tidicians, the Unity Party folks. So for me, I'm like, and especially for somebody that like she's very publicly known and the way she's going in on the Unity Party, for me, it just didn't look right or feel right to me because she's aching on more of all of
Yeah.
the things that we are seeing.
And she's a public figure. And she's in politics.
So to correct something,
Go ahead.
to correct something, this is why it's important for you to get the background information because it helps.
Exactly. I was
As
just
a matter of fact, this Talia Ure issue that you're talking about, Talia Ure actually is an actual supporter of Josiah Yuma Boakai. But this is what happened. Josiah Yuma Boakai stabbed Talia Ure in the back.
Yep.
just like he did to Cummings.
So you see what happened. So Josiah Yuma Boakai, Talia Ure were running District 15. Josiah Yuma Boakai, they refused for Talia Ure to run in District 15. They took the seat and gave it to the Secretary General. So you see, so how do you Talia Ure might not be emotionally mature enough to say, okay, I will handle it and shut up and walk away. So you see, that's what they're doing amongst themselves. So that's the background part of it. So Talia Ure never supported Cummings. In fact, she doesn't even support Cummings. So I don't want to talk about with Talia Ure.
Let me tell
Moses, can I just ask something quickly before I go?
Let me tell me, SB.
Oh, SB wants to go, Kevin. So let him say, and then he can get off.
Yeah,
And
I will leave. Hey, I won't take my sorry.
He's
What
going.
people need to understand is this, right? I don't want to play the blame game because then everybody will just be pointing fingers at each other. But I can tell you this though. Had it not been for this same backstabbing that Moses just mentioned, CDC has no chance. We're not even in this position as a country today as we see ourselves in right now. You go back to the foundation of the original CPP. I tell people this all the time. If Mr. Cummings was approached formally, and said, look, son, by JMB, you're my son, you're my little brother, I love you. You and I, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to be the stand-up bearer. You will be the stand-up DSP. I will go for one term. After that, you guys can take over. You guys can go ahead and select another stand-up DSP. Had he made that proposal and Cummings said, oh, I don't want it, different story. When you come to the table, you and me, we agree we're going to do business. You put your own money inside, I put my own money inside. You get your own your period of tenure to run the company. I get my own period of tenure. When my period comes, I'm outshining you. You don't like it. You go, you start colluding with other people. Then you come, you go. The same people that after you to the CDC, you colluded with them. You're taking the code for 9 months. Drag my name in a month because you wanted to isolate me because you didn't like the fact that I was outshining you. Fine. I move from there. I go do my own thing. We all come back to the round table now. Mano o mano. Again, I'm isolated, but I'm isolated only because they need to get to you and take you out. Now you're trying to see the bigger picture. You can't handle it. So to be fair, when we want to have a discussion, we shouldn't just focus on what the current situation is. It's always good to look at the grassroots of the problem and how we got to where we are today. I'm not saying Comey was always innocent or he always did everything right and ANC was innocent. I know there's been a lot of back and forth, but I can tell you something. Joseph Boga, who is considered the elder statesman and the man of wisdom, who's been there, done that, he played his card right and showed great leadership in uniting the original CPP. We're not having this conversation today. But anyway, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Just one last thing. Karina, you look amazing. And you guys all do, but Karina, you look pretty, baby girl. You just look so damn good.
My man, I see why Lova said you might get it. What they call it. Look at Karina. Hey, Lord.
No, go live, jump on tea outside. But yes, let's all right. Let's get back to the topic at hand. Important conversation. So somebody else called and they
Natty wants to call in. Natty, call how because I have Kelvin on my phone. But go ahead, Kelvin.
Nadia, I got you. Give me a second.
Yeah. As you coming?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. I do stand with Tera Yue today, tomorrow, and forever. The reason is just simple, right? The same Tera Yue was one person like John the Joseph Boaka and his subjects to bring down the name of Mr. Kumi. They diminished this man's character falsely. They took the man to court for over 9 months. Tera Yue insulted this man, called him all sorts of names, just because she needed Joseph Boaka to stay alone or to be the head of the CPP ticket. But guess what happened? God doesn't sleep, though. This is politics, right? And God has his side, right? So guess what happened? Joseph Nimo Boaka decided not to carry Henry Petro Costa. That's where the entire thing started from. It now started from the District 15 aspiration that she had to be candidate of the Unity Party on a ticket or no in the election. It started when Henry Petro Costa met that investor who was proposing 30 million naira with a suggestion that I can only give the money to you to run copy if you choose somebody that have confidence in. That when you win tomorrow, I too can have a say and have a share in whatever that the government will be spraying out. So guess what happened? They proposed Henry Petro Costa. Joseph Boaga vehemently agreed. He told Henry Costa in his face that I will carry you as my VSB. It was all planned, it was all agreed upon, and in fact, Bena Yue got in tools and told Joseph Nimo Boaga to go at the court, testify against Mr. Cummings. By that, they said what the court soprano or Joe Boaga, it was all planned and master money by Bena Yue. To Henry Costa, along with Maggie, because Maggie and Henry Costa, they are best friends till to this day. So when that deal never happened, Joseph Boaga never agreed to carry Henry Petro Costa. Likewise, Joseph Boaga never agreed to carry Yobi Kaka Lawrence. He went to Nima County. There was a signifying that Joseph Boaga was heading to Nima County to pick Jeremiah Kun. So when Petro then got that information, they started being disenchanted. They reached out to JB. He never gave the right answers. And in fact, guess what happened? Some aspirants back then of the ALP, the All Alberta Party, that is headed by Bernard Yue, who is the state bearer, they started being taken away from slots, from districts by Joseph Nimo Boaga. So they exploited Tera Yue and her father and the entire ALP party that made them today to be so bitter. And whatsoever better thing that they have between them are enjoying it so much because this shows that God is fighting for Mr. Cummings. So whenever you see that you are insulting JB or calling JB names, putting JB saying that he won't be president, I still with it. I still with it. Because politics is not about church. If you think politics is going to go to the church, there are some lot of dirty things that happen in politics. The way you will see on Facebook, the way you see as picture, it's just one politician want you to see. But a lot of things are the back. A lot of discussions happen. People that you see insulting people on Facebook, calling them all sort of names on radio, and not they all mean somewhere and not bottles. So at times I feel sorry for young people that insult other people for politicians. I too used to be the same. But there was a time I came to myself and told myself that this is nothing. It's pure BS. These people meet somewhere and they discuss, they have fun. So it's about the time that we put ourselves as young people at first and prioritize our needs. So this election, as it stands, the Union Party and out of the CDC, they are neck to neck. And as it stands right now in most of the country, the CDC is ahead of the Unity Party about 4,000 or 5,000 votes. But what I'm saying is that the CDC is going to rig this election. And the rig the election, the United Partisans will get on the street to protest And when they get on the street to protest, I know how devilish Joshua is. He will send security apparatus to lay bullets. This thing should be recorded on the show. President Weah will send security to lay bullets. You see those people that will be protesting against their votes that have been taken away from them. Who is Appleton? Who is Appleton that is stopping Mr. Cummings right now? Who is Appleton that is stopping Gonglo right now? CDC think we are stupid. They think we don't know what's going on. This entire election is fraudulent. And thank God the international community is here. And in fact, Liberia is the only country in Africa that has received the highest international observers. We have over 9,000. That is a record settle. So we are watching them closely. And if you have your family members here who support the Unity Party, when they are protesting, do not allow them go there. Call them and tell them don't go there. Because these CDC guys are very desperate. They are desperate to retain power, and they can do anything to retain power. Do you know what's happening at the SKD where the target sheets have been counted? The CDC went there to borrowing opposition killers, opposition supporters. Chaos were there. Should we continue doing this thing in this country? I don't like the Unity Party. Everyone knows that. But because I don't like the Unity Party, it shouldn't make the CDC to carry an act. I will bring war to this country. We no longer want war.
So I have a caller online too. Gavin, I have a caller online. I want to speak on this, but disclaimer. So we are here to discuss the Liberia politics. We are not here to support a specific candidate, but we are here to discuss what have happened during the election, after the elections, what's currently happening right now, because the vote are still being counted, and a lot of speculation as far as there's cheating going on. So this is why this is important that we have this conversation. I really wish, and Lofa can blame us for this, that we would have had this conversation a long time ago to really get some clarity and understanding of each candidate. Because some of the information that we're being told now, some of those information are honestly being questioned by many people. So I'm gonna unmute my caller, and he have a 2 cents to add to it.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're on. Net, you're on.
Oh, hey, yeah. Thanks for having me on this wonderful platform. I appreciate you, ladies. And I just, there's so much misinformation going on this platform that it just saddens myself. That, for the most part, most of you that are on this platform live in the diaspora, where you have access to the technology, where you can verify a lot more of the stuff. Yes, things coming out of Liberia are not always documented so that you can go to a proper source to verify it. But sometimes you can vet the people you're having. Everybody that lives in some zip code and has a phone can't just jump up and try to speak to what is going on in Liberia when you really have no clue. I have not heard one of the gentlemen you had on this show tonight speak to anything that they are an authority on or know anything in depth about. They're just regurgitating stuff they've seen pass around social media and put it out as the truth.
Wow.
But they don't have the authority to speak to those things. They are not here in Liberia. They have not been here in Liberia to connect with people. They're not involved with any of the agencies or the organizations that are involved in it. They're just over there running their mouths. That's all they're doing right now, is running their mouths. The gentleman talking about, I'm going to speak to just that, because most everything they said was false. But I'm going to speak to this one because of my authority, I don't want to get into all of it. Politics is a very complicated cake, and you have to be careful how you approach things, especially when you mean well for the people of Liberia. And that's something I think I can pride myself in. I mean so well for the people of Liberia. I left the U.S. 6 years ago for us to be celebrating the moment we're celebrating right now and trying to bring about good governance. Most of you in the diaspora will feel, oh, you know, the Alex Cummings vibe, the Alex Cummings aesthetics and everything. We've been there. We've done that. I'm from Atlanta. We started talking to Alex Cummings back in 2009. He wasn't ready. So I'm not talking about people who just hear stuff. We're talking about actual practitioners of what's happening, so much so to the point that we engaged ourselves and we committed ourselves over the past, 14 years now to see this process. And just sit back and see a beautiful platform like yours get taken over by people with no authority, just running their mouths. The young man said that Tilia Ure was supposed to get district whatever, and they took it and they gave it to the Speaker of Unity Party or whatever, Secretary General of Unity Party. What he doesn't understand is that Tilia Ure got to run, and mind you, despite everything Tilia may be saying in the media and doing right now, we love Tilia. I'm very close to both of her parents, very close to Tilia herself, and we love Tilia. We understand what the feelings are. But Tilia can in no day and no place stand in front of me and say that we did not wrench from the current Secretary General of Unity Party the opportunity to run in the district that is Logantown and Caldwell and allow her to run, which projected her to the political fame that she got. We were there. When Tilia Ure got attacked, I personally was screamed at by His Excellency, the former Vice President. Where are you? Why? You said you were going to be with Tilia. What's going on? Well, Chief Tilia said she was going to go to some wedding. She said she wasn't going to have the rally. We responded. Ask her that. She means a lot. Tilia is the goddaughter to the former Vice President, in case y'all don't know that. We don't sit there and allow those little things to force people like ourselves and other members of the families to come out and speak. But when I sit back and I'm just strolling through and I hear this sort of nonsense coming out of the mouths of all these people y'all got on there, nothing they know about, nothing they're aware of.
Wow, it's challenging, y'all.
They, all of them. They don't know anything about what's happening here in Liberia.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
So I think maybe your guest should remain on because I think your guest should remain on
to this process, but they want to sit down and read tabloids and listen to tabloids and take the aesthetics of things, and that's the thing. Most of the people that you will see making all this hullabaloo about the Cummings thing and all that, it's all on aesthetics. It's the aesthetics that, oh, he looks like us. He's from America like us, and he sounds like us.
No.
So your guest, I think your guest should.
We're this far along. We're this far along in the process. We've accomplished this much in the process. Where are the numbers from the Cummings thing? There should be something.
So first of all, I think we should put your guest on hold so I can get in check.
Yeah. So now, do you want to stay on, or you're done with your point?
I think you are disrespectful.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to hold on. I'm sorry, Steve.
I think you are disrespectful when he came on. First of all, then he introduced himself. He recognized the ladies on. He has a gentleman on here, but he never recognized me. But that's fine. So let me recognize myself and recognize him. I think whoever is on the phone over there, whoever was on the phone, let me categorize him. These are one of the crooks that couldn't make it in America talking about he wants to talk about somebody don't know the expert and the expert or whatever it is. Let me address him first before I get to the issues. These are the crooks and or serious people who could not compete. I want to challenge that person. There was no way, shape, or form you will be competing in the United States of America. Got a profession, got a job, and doing well, and leave from and carry a bottle like you and be talking about you there, and we don't know this one, we don't know that one. I challenge him. These are some of the crooks. that ran away from competition in America, went to sit in Liberia because that's where they fit, to scam our people, to lie to our people. All the things he's talking, I want to challenge it. Let me give that gentleman or that I don't know if it's a lady or it's a gentleman, but let me give him the benefit of calling he or she. I don't care who he is because you can't differentiate between a man and a woman. You seen a man, you couldn't recognize a man. So I will call him or he or she, saying he wanted to be disrespectful. Let me give him some taste of his own medication here. First of all, the EU, this is what the EU reports. Since he claims to know the people on the ground. This is what the EU Observer reports. This is from Daily Observer. Since we don't live on the ground, so that means we're living in heaven or we're living in space, that we can get factual information. This is what the Daily Observer report. Just look at the headline alone from the Daily Observer. This is what it states. EU Election Observer Mission says President Weah used state resources to gain unfair political advantage, relying on President Weah. The article is right here because of time's sake. I will not be able to read it. We don't want to take up all the time. So when that crook who came on here, who is unable to compete in a civilized society, who is unable to compete among his peers, that's why he wants to sit in Liberia, who are scamming, these are the people who are scamming our people and misleading them, come and sit here and wants to school people. Maybe he needs to come back here and learn and get some education and get into the competition here and leave Liberia and come back here to help people and contribute to an organized, structured society. Then he can lecture me. Not sitting in Liberia waiting for a government job and passing around and screwing people around and being a crook and a scammer, and you want to come and say what? I beg you, my friend. You don't know who you're talking to. You can talk to other people like that, but you can't talk to me like that. Because I will take you on any day, anytime from an intellectual standpoint, from a political standpoint. You don't know anything about the politics of Liberia. What you know is to pass around behind an old man who is a crook also, the Joseph Boyka man, and I'm responsible for my words. Sorry, I don't normally talk on your platform like this. But this guy who supports Joseph Boyka,
politics, we're here for it.
I purport to support Joseph Boyka. You want me to bring up Joseph Boyka's story on here? Joseph Boyka is a bona fide crook. This is why he should have never been supported anyways. This is why I said from the beginning my open statement on the politics thing. Anything Joseph Boyka, anything Jerry, I run away from it. Because Joseph Boyka sat out over there for 12 years. He had a responsibility as a vice president. If you think the country was not going well, guess what he should have done? He should have resigned and left. That's what
he couldn't do that. He loved his people too much, Steve. That's too radical. He couldn't do that.
You know what he loved? He loved the lucrative pay you were getting. He loved the brand envelope you were getting. He loved the immunity. He sat there, shut his mouth. He sat there, brought 66 bogus you. Today, our people have to face with it.
Yeah.
This person want to come and lecture me? You better go do your homework, bro.
Let me come in. You getting me?
Yes, we can hear you, Kevin. Go ahead. We just want another disclaimer. So on this platform, we do not usually talk politics, but tonight we are talking politics based on the current election at hand.
Yes.
They're still counting the vote, and we love our country dearly, but we have to speak on some of the things that's been happening, especially around these elections. Now, like I said before, I hope we would have had this conversation early on to learn a lot about the candidates. Because tonight we are actually learning more than we ever known about some of these candidates. I wish we knew this beforehand. I will say this. With that being said, it's okay to be expressive on here, but please be respectful because this is R.A.W Conversations.
Yes, we are all peace and love.
And everybody here to
Let's
speak.
not get heated. We're all peace and love
It's
here.
gonna get heated because it's politics. This is why we don't dive into politics, but tonight's a special night. So y'all bear with us, but it means a lot to a lot of people that have invested their time into Liberia, that's investing their time, even to our caller who said what he said. He moved from out here to go to Liberia to better Liberia. So that's a big deal. We cannot discourage
Liberia.
We cannot say that. So, but we just want to just keep on going with the conversation. If anybody else want to call in, please let us know. We do have our caller, Kevin, online. He should have been on here with us, but he's on the phone instead. So he will tap in right now. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah. It baffles me and it is so disheartening, right? To see a man who lacks
I'll be right back. I got a regular something.
To call us names on the show. Say, are you getting me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Say we do not know what's unfolding in this country. And he's failing to know that I'm on ground right now. As I speak to you guys, I'm right in 93 single. This is where you see everything politically in this country. So
Yeah.
he came here and he called us names and said a lot of things, and it's so frustrating. This is the same man, a nephew to old man Joe Walker, who is called Nathaniel Tama, a man who served as project director in the office of JAB when he was vice president. Serving as project director in the office of JAB, he never or he cannot point to any project that he brought forth that got implemented in the office of the former vice president of this Republic of Liberia. This man called Nathaniel Tama is corrupt. He's not competent. He's an intellectual bacon. He lacks the tenacity of every coming on platform to say anything credible. He's not a credible man.
Wow.
This is a man I used to have great respect for because he's an elderly person. But coming on the show, calling on names, it definitely shows that this particular man was not trained well. There are some people that were born in homes, but they decided to grow up on the street. And Nathaniel Tama is one. He's one of these old men that were in America, spent his entire life in America. He couldn't bear the competition there. He couldn't give himself a better life that you guys are living there. He ran away. He came back to Liberia for a project director job in the office of the vice president that was paying less than $1,500 per month. But because of the small commercial money that was coming through the office of the vice president, it got his stagnated and he milked the honey and sugar of this republic. This same man want to come back to power to milk the honey and sugar of this country that they left, that Joshua is milking right now. But we will not give such a man a chance. Nathaniel does not have the right to call other people names, even if you are disagreeing with them. It makes no sense. What will his children do, just in case they were listening to him tonight? Calling people names. And I believe that the way he has been right up, that's the same way he's raising his children. Because the same Nathaniel man, I can remember some part of 2016, there was a big search video for him. I will search for it again. They see Nathaniel man, he just thinks we are forgotten. Because Facebook was not very popular as it is now. So we had it in our phones and just sharing to make phone. But I will search for that particular video, the same way we brought Monsieur out. The media man for JB, the same way we brought his own out. Like he did around 2014. I will search for that video and I will bring the link search video of Nathaniel Blama out. And I tell you seriously, it will be published in various chat rooms. You will see it. Some of you will receive your copies of it. So, like I said, Nathaniel is just who he is. He doesn't love competition. That's the reason why he left the United States of America. He's here living in the Bafa. And no Bafa, the thing for called Bafa. Somewhere they kitchen hot.
We got another call
right now.
So as much as Kevin, or can I just another disclaimer? We are talking politics, and everybody have their perspective. So let's we cannot attack the character. We can attack what he said. I would love for you to attack exactly what he said as far as what was right or wrong. But
and we remain for planet.
We do have a caller on.
He enjoyed himself. All he could. He couldn't even go straight to the point for more than 10 minutes.
And most importantly, we just want to tell our Lofa genius, Lofa, we missed you. We said in the beginning of the show that we need you on here, but I guess you didn't hear us. But Lofa, this is what you wanted your girls to do. We apologize publicly right now. When
we needed to educate ourselves, so we educated.
Yeah, so we did what you asked us to do, but I should have called you. I forgot. I didn't forget. We've been busy. But Lofa, we beg you, please come. We miss you. We need you. Publicly, I'm apologizing and taking full responsibility.
All I thought they assigned that assignment to you.
That assignment was on me, and I let the white man job in it take over.
So folks,
we have a caller that want to speak on what both of y'all have spoken on, you and Steve and Kevin. We have another caller on. I would like to just speak on what Nat just said.
Okay, where are they calling from? Where they're calling from? Who are they?
Yes,
Where they're
What's
calling
your
from?
name
your
and where you're
name.
calling from, please?
Yes, please state your name and where you're calling from. It's important because we have some misinformation about where people are located tonight. You're on the phone. We can hear you. Can you hear me? SB, can you hear me? Ooh, I just
Yes,
said
I
who's
can hear you.
calling. All right, you're on.
Thank you. So let me just say this. You know, one of the reasons why I have high respect and regard for all of you guys, even some folks that are from the party, is because you guys are highly educated. I know what some of you guys do for a living. And for the most part, a lot of us here, what we do for a living requires a lot of research and stuff like that. So when you see a gentleman like that come on, first thing, they didn't introduce himself, tells you the kind of house he was raised in, no training, right? And he comes on there talking, licking the lips, like he just ate a bag of sour milk, and he's trying to impress someone. Let me get something straight with you, mister. You want to talk about us coming on here and regurgitating? No, we don't. We've done our homework. When I chose to support Mr. Cummings, I did extensive research on him. Why? Because I didn't know much about him. I did extensive research on him. I listened to a lot of his interviews, a lot of conversations that he was involved with, his interaction with people. I did my own research, my own assessment, and I compare it to my childhood and how I grew up, the things that I witnessed, the damn decisions that all of us went through. And that was how I concluded that he's someone I believe could support Liberia. So don't come on here with your little fake series. You ran away from the US because you can't compete economically, so you went to Liberia to go get a job to feed off the backs of the innocent and of people in Liberia. That's why you left the US. Some of us can stay here and still get credible and valuable information from Liberia than you can. And we're still here earning a living. And that's why you guys don't like Mr. Cummings. Because Mr. Cummings came and challenged the status quo. He said, I want to make everybody self-sufficient. I want us to create a competitive environment where nothing is handed, but everything is gained. That's what cowards like you left the US and went to Liberia because you can't earn anything. You want stuff to be given to you. As old as you are, at your age, you should be down there teaching our young people about being self-sufficient and how you can go out there and maximize your God-given ability. But you over there licking your lip that you just is a still to boogie, then you want to come here and got someone for because you think you're smarter than anybody. You gotta be. But I will come back for you later on.
Yeah, I got somebody on here that want to talk. Lofa wants to talk.
All right. Okay. Okay, SB.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lofa.
Yeah.
Not
Mama, you on now. You on.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to chime in this conversation. And again, this Lofa, I'm calling you all from Raleigh, North Carolina. I listened to the previous caller who is literally being bashed, and I don't think there's much more for me to say because the young man who called before SB already spoke to it all. SB again elaborated on this, but let me tell you something. What a lot of us fail to realize is Liberia at this time needs transformation. Okay, we don't need to regress. If an individual will come on the platform to claim deceptive information, I think they should be eloquent enough to make that clarification as to what is misleading in the information that is provided. Instead, he was just redundant in his statement. No wonder why these people are claiming that, again, he's one of those who simply just seeking opportunity at the expense of the suffering masses. These are the status quo. These are the individuals who are not about the people. They are simply about themselves. When they feel the competition in the Western world, they grab their baggages and run to Liberia in search of an opportunity to live at the expense of the masses. This is no joke. We're talking about a nation that is dying slowly, a nation that is on her knees. These deceptive unity party partisans, the ones who actually led for 12 consecutive years and did nothing, have no records of their success, want to come out here and tell people how to discuss the issue, how to voice out either the satisfaction or dissatisfaction. Hold on, who do you think we are? Are we well versed in Liberia body politics?
to the extent that we know that one of the most corrupt government in Liberia was the Unity Party government. Based on information from the guy whom you brought in-house to not serve as a financial expert or advisor, whatever term you want to label him as, did he not classify the Unity Party government as one of the most corrupt government? What did Joseph Boykai do? What did he do? Did you not know that Honorable Joseph Numa Boykai's mother, okay, was a woman with special need? This man did nothing for the people of the group of 77. He left them in a vulnerable state. You think the young people don't know these things? You are literally just going to Liberia to seek opportunity. I don't want to take the time off from everybody else, but let me say this. Liberians will no longer sit around and allow you scavengers to continue to milk everything out of Liberians. They will stand up. This generation is the generation of change. If you haven't realized this, think again, look again, and be careful what you say. Because we will bring change to Liberia. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak to this, Moses.
So let me just say this quickly to you guys. You know, like I said, I've never met a person who spoke, but I can tell that these are hustlers. I challenge this person any day, anytime. I challenge him anywhere that he could not keep up. He could not keep up with the structure, organization, and whatever it is in the United States. So he had to run to Liberia where they can steal, where they can molest little girls and do all kind of funny things. I say, I know the person I'm talking. I know that joker that talking. And I'm serious-minded people. So I don't take these people seriously. Because if I were taking him seriously, then the man who he support. You see, sometimes who you support tells a lot about you. It tells a lot about you, whether you support it ignorantly or not, because I'm ignorant. Before you even support somebody, you should do a research. These people said and support a man who stands in public, who should know better for wisdom. A man as a liar or deceptive man. 2015, they got talking about 2019 when they supported Tilia UA. The CPP were together. Even Kumi supported CPP. Who was he, by the way, to say he was with Tilia UA? Joseph Boykai calling to inflate ego. These are the lion and scammer that used to be inflated. They got there hosting small party, collecting 10 and from people that serious-minded men there. That particular man used to be so-called MC or DJ. And that's serious-minded people there. So I don't talk to the kind of funny men there. I know who talking. You can't know who talking. I mean, a funny man, I say.
Okay. Okay, Steve. Yeah, thank you for responding to our callers' very, very controversial statement that he made. But can we get back to the actual conversation at hand as far as the elections? Because we do agree that these things are happening. The corruption, whether it's one person, whether the group is happening. What's going on with the counting of the vote? That is our important matter right now. The most horrifying thing to see are people sitting in the dark using their cell phone flashlights to count votes. We've been talking about Liberia. We've been talking about the structure. We've been talking about what's happening with the different candidates. Let's just say something here. As educated as Kwame is, right? Because please mute yourself, Karina, because my children are back there.
And the thing is, Calvin is on the phone, so when I mute myself,
he can't hear you.
But I'm going to mute.
So with that being said, I'm talking about the fact that we have these educated people, these well-known people, these people that have been around. They're seeing things. They know voting protocols. They know what's required for a successful party, for a successful voting process. They know. Kwame's know. I'm mentioning Kwame's because we're talking about him being in the U.S., knowing the U.S. system. And I will also mention Joe Boykai because he's been around for a long time. I'm not going to mention George Weah because he just knew the politics and he's just following. But with the two people that I've mentioned, they're part of this politics right now. They're part of the election. They're running. They know better voting system. What happened? How did they prepare for this? Because you can't know things and not do nothing about it. Why is it that we're in this predicament right now that they're still counting votes and y'all know that should be better system implemented, right? To make sure that this system goes smoothly. Why all of y'all that know it all, Joseph Boykai, Kwame's that knows better, right? what did y'all do to prepare for the election for this voting process? Because honestly, it's an embarrassment to every person that's involved that the counting is still going on and they can't even account for a lot of the numbers and they're using flashlights to count the votes.
So thank you for that, because again, it goes back to us understanding the genesis of this whole thing. There has been 18 years since there was a democratic election after Charles Taylor left. After Charles Taylor left, they had an interim government. After that interim government, they had an election, which brought in Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in 2005 and Joseph Yuma Boakai. Now, there were lots of money invested in Liberia to change some of the things we see today. Lots of money. These guys, like Joseph Boakai would say, squandered the opportunity. You understand? Some of this infrastructure, some of these things needed to be put in place.
Oh no, what's going on with Steve's internet? Okay, he will come back. But the question was, and maybe somebody, Kevin, you can unmute yourself. Maybe Kevin can chime in.
What I would say, bro, what boy?
Oh, why put us in it? Because y'all know why we've been saying that we should talk about this for a while, Edwin, and we haven't. And now that we are in this position where they're still counting votes.
Yeah,
you are muted for a minute.
Yeah, sorry. I think somebody tried to. I don't know what's going on. But
okay, so now I asked a very important question because I feel like y'all praising all these people, but they should know better.
So here's the thing, and we got to do the process of elimination here. First of all, Cummings was never in the government for the 12 years for the 18 years that Liberia has been ran. Cummings was never in a position to change this. The people who have been in government for 18 years, that Joe Weah, that Joel Howard Taylor, that Joseph Yuma Boakai, and that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, for 18 years, they have led Liberia. So all of that, let me say this, and we got to be frank with this. And I go back to what I said initially. The reason why I continuously said, don't vote for anything Joe Weah or Unity Party is because these are the people that have led us today to where we are. For you know what 18 years is? For you to have resources and refuse to do just the bare minimum for your people. So we are here today because of the people who led the country did not do what was right to set the stage for these things. You know what they will do? Joseph Boakai offers a budget, $2 million a year. You know what $2 million a year is for 12 years? Do you know how much that is? $2 million a year. But let's come to Joe Weah for 6 years. Joe Weah offers, as we speak right now, his budget. We're talking about more than $2 million. This is problematic. And so when you see these kind of things, they don't prioritize these little things and these important things that people so benefit from, such as electricity and other things. You will get them, somebody like this guy who just called on, the Nat guy or whatever his name is. This is how they've survived. They milk the country. And so when you get serious-minded people who want to come around, guess what they do? Even as we speak today, the person who's in charge of NEC, it is alleged that she Joe Weah OT.
Oh God.
Allegedly. Oh no, these are look, I don't talk in the people's personal life, but these are situations, but things happen between them. And we told them before, don't put these people there. Don't put them there. George Weah sent them, and again, I'm not going to blame George Weah alone. Even the senators in the House of Representatives, this is where so it's a system that we are dealing with, and the people in the system are inherently corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do what is right for the people. They don't. They steal from our people. They corrupt our people. Even when they send money for them, they take the money that is already utilized for the people and they send, they use it on themselves. They build. So this is, let me tell you something. This is a systematic problem that we are having. And these guys don't want the system to change. Simple.
Yeah. But my thing is, it won't get any better if we're just sitting stagnant and not doing nothing about it.
Or at least fighting against each other, right?
Oh,
because where does the unity come in?
I think the solution. I think part of the solution to this is to get rid of the people who are part of this system. As long as these people stay around, and be honest with you. Look,
but it can't happen like that. It's like
it can. You know why? Because even in 2007 and 8, when America never thought that they would have a black person to ever be president for their country, the American people decided that they would change the entire system and put Barack Obama there. So yes, it can. You know what we need to do? We need to have a willpower to say we want to stand to remove this and do something different with people who have the proven track record to do what is right. We can't have somebody in power for 18 years, a group of people, and they've collected themselves together to do wrong against the Liberian people. This is the trouble we have. That's why I said anything Joseph Boakai, don't support it, don't vote for it. Anything,
but it's already happened. It have already happened. So how do we move forward now, Steve? We're talking about what happens next. What happens next? Everybody's calling and we're speaking on it. What happens next? They're still counting the votes.
This is my honest. Honestly, from what I just read to you, the article and what's aligning, more likely so the international community will not accept the result of the election. And we're on the show today, mark and see. You know why? Because this is not only irregularities. In 2017, we had irregularities. But in this one, we have fraud. So it's a problem. Irregularity is different from fraud. So the entire election seemed to be manipulated. Not only there are irregularities, there could be irregularities in different districts. As we speak now, in Nima County. In Nima County today, the people were stormed there. The election commissions are telling you 2 ballot bags is missing. 2. So you tell me if this is not a red flag or recipe for confusion. And I'm saying this, I will continue to say it. If United Party win, John Weah will say they not accept the result. If John Weah win, United Party will say they not accept the result. It's a recipe for chaos.
So what happens next?
If people they will be hurt. So I'm saying here, the best thing to do,
disqualify both of them.
This particular election result, nullify it. It's fraudulent. That's my recommendation. I know it sounds very tough, but hey, we got to take tough decisions.
Well, as tough as it sounds, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be given to whoever is there right now, who winning. So what do our people do in the meantime? How do they prepare for the election results?
Well, I can say to you, if the result stands and the international community does not support the result, then I mean the international community does not recognize whatever government is there, then I mean our people will suffer. Because it traveled down to the common man now. Because guess what? There might be no foreign aid given. No international government is going to say they don't recognize they want to go to put their money there. They're not going to do that. Right? We're not being able to raise the fund to generate to do anything. And we as Liberians, we're not like other people. We as Liberians
will suffer. Most of the people will suffer.
International aids. So let's take, for example, European Union already started waving red flag. You remember the article title I just read? I was reading that article and I said, this is concerning. Exactly, my sister. We run the election and cancel this because this result, anywhere you put it, will bring problem. The result is fraudulent. It is fraudulent. And I'm saying it again. I will say it to avoid chaos, to avoid problem, to avoid innocent people dying. Cancel the result. Rerun the whole thing. Because this is fraudulent. This is in order to do that, here's the other problem behind it. In order to do that, you know what you're talking now? You'll be talking about interim government because Joe, your time is over. And
I was about to say, because people feel that when this happens, they have to rerun. There's going to be a lot more cheating involved.
I cannot oversee another election.
As easy as it sounds, I feel like it just creates more room for this to happen. Wait, legally. Because I feel like now they will find a reason for it to happen instead of them stealing votes. Now they will have a more reason because they knew the counties that they were losing in. They will have more reason now to do what they need to do to win those counties.
No, if you read through the election, if you rerun the entire election, because the entire election has to be rerun.
Yes.
You can say they run between the person and the person. No. Because they cheated Gonglo, they cheated Commies, they cheated the other people. So this is an entire fraudulent thing, right? So in order to rerun it, it has to be done by independent people to restore trust. You see, let me say this. The problem we are in now as a nation is even bigger now. But to avoid a problem, we told them what they should have done. But these guys went and manipulated the election against the Liberian people will, because again, it goes back to this criminal mind and entitlement. There must be people in power. So this is the problem we have.
Yeah, but somebody made a comment about as far as financially, and I think you just answered that.
Yeah, financially, who will be responsible for it? Definitely, the international community will have to provide the funding for it.
Yeah.
That's just what it will be.
Okay. Kevin, would you like to add a 2 cents? Because we've been on for a while. 10:30. Yeah, 10:30. We have to get off.
Close this statement quickly because I have to get prepared for service this morning.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Whenever we are heading to election, the opposition is not responsible to finance the process of the election, but rather it is obligated upon the opposition to conscientize their supporters that they should turn out the vote. They should remain peaceful. They should say no to electoral violence. These are the things that are obligated upon the opposition leaders. So somebody asked a question: what is the role played for the opposition to sponsor the campaign? You understand? So that's why I have to say continue that. And lastly, like Moses was saying, that this election has a lot of issues, and they are very vivid. Everyone can see it. And I think that when the final result comes out, and then one person feels this each other and go to Supreme Court, and then proofs will be submitted beyond all reasonable doubt, and then there will be two aspects, and these two aspects is either rerun or there will be an interim government. If the ruling establishment saying no, there will not be rerun, or the opposition figure that is stopping next to the ruling establishment will say no, there will not be rerun, rather we will run off. And the proofs are then submitted at the Supreme Court, and those proofs are then proven beyond all reasonable doubt, then there will be an interim government. If we have a austerity wherein supporters will get on the street, tear gas will be through, violence as will happen, and then the international community will step in and have an interim government, or when they agree to go for rerun, then they will be sponsored by the international community. So I know that nothing bad will happen during this time in our country, because we are tired of what we suffer for 14 years in row. Over 250,000 human beings died. Because of that, all the family got disassociated with their loved one. To know they don't have, or they don't know their mothers or father or even relatives because of the war. So we don't want to see ourselves going back there, and we will not go back there. Anybody who wins this election, it should be free and fair without it being fought in two. We are seeing a lot of frauds right now, but we're proceeding within the confines of the court. We replicate whatever that is happening now. So I want to say thanks for the invite. Thanks for everyone's views. I want to very, 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 very want to get off now and then get prepared for service tomorrow. So
thank you, Kevin. We appreciate you coming on. We appreciate your input. Please continue to educate the Liberian people, because we need it, because education in this area of politics is important, because a lot of us have made some bad decisions without being formally educated on the different candidates and what they stand for, what they represent. So at this time we're stuck. People can say we're inside it. We're inside it now. We're just waiting for the results to come out. But Steve, if you have a closing statement, I want you to make it now. And
we're inside it now.
We're inside it now.
So the first thing I want to say is thank you guys for, allowing us to talk politics on your show today. Tomorrow we'll be talking in depth about some of the unfoldings, and we will definitely be projecting what will happen in the next few weeks. I can say on your show here that the country will be very tense.
Yeah.
Yes, because the atmosphere was created for that. Yeah. And nobody should go and say, "Oh, let's pray God." You forget about God being God. Ain't got time for that.
God, yes, God needs to be part of it.
We live with the consequences. I've always said I ain't got no time for. Let God help our people. No. God ain't got no time for that. No, God's not going to do that. We'll live by the consequences and the choices we make. But most importantly, what I want to say is this: I think at this point and at this stage of Liberia, we have two roads to go on. We have two major roads to go on. Either we do this right and avoid problems, or we put our hands between our legs and sit down, and problem come. But there is no other way out of it. No Jesus inside, no Muhammad inside, no God come and save us. It ain't working. What's going to work is we must stand up, like the sister said, as Liberians. Those who voted, and you know you voted for a certain person, and their lines say the person gets 0, the person gets 1, they get 2. I'm asking those people today, openly, to come out and speak out. Enough is enough. If you don't speak out for your rights, nobody will speak out for you. That's all me I get to say. You want to leave it with God? Go leave it with God. There are some people that will not leave it with God.
That's a good mindset. We're hoping for that as well. Well, I hope he can control his people because it's not just about them. But at the end of the day, Steve, we want to appreciate you for coming on. Kevin, want to appreciate you for coming on. We are having a discussion today because the elections proceedings and the results have been bothersome. I will say this. For me, I hated to see my country counting votes in the dark. Most importantly, just the fact that we're still counting these votes. Why? In 2023, we cannot invest in better system, better voting system. Come on, Liberia, we got to do better. And let me just say this to y'all. Every country have corruption in their government. We are not exempt. We're not the first. We're not the last. No, we're not. So when we're talking about our country and we're talking about it being corrupt and this person and that person, it's not just about Liberia. I think it just happened in Nigeria recently as well. So we are not exempt. It's going to happen.
Kidnapping is going to a whole different level in Nigeria as we speak.
Yeah, so we're saying this. So every country is experiencing this with as far as elections and voting and government and taking over and not accepting these results. But what we do now, people are stand up, speak up. But most importantly, go out and vote. Let me tell you something. If that's one thing the American people stress is the fact that we all have voices and we should vote and let our voices be heard. Go out and vote for your candidate. Do not be manipulated or forced to do what you don't want to do. You do it based on what you think is right. And most importantly, educate yourself on these candidates. If that's one thing we've learned tonight, is that before you vote for anyone, you should educate yourself on the candidate as far as what they stand for. And the ones that have been there, see what it's done. Okay, so we want to just say that this is raw conversation. We usually do not talk politics much. We just, brush on it a little bit. But this is important for our country. Our families are out there. We have businesses there. We love Liberia on here. We are all Liberians. We want the best for our country, and we're just hoping that the results, when they come out, that we'll receive it well, that we won't get in another 1990, 1996, and all the other times. That's the fear of many people, many Liberians. Even here in the country, we are afraid for our people back home. So this is why we speak on this. Like I said, we're not here to talk about a particular candidate. We're just here to say that we want peace in our country. We need things to change. We need things to change. Hello. This is why we're having this discussion right now. So, my co-hosts want to chime in before we close, but we just want to shed some light on it. Thank you to everyone that's coming on. Augustine. Yeah, it's gonna, but that's what it is. Let me just say this: every election, just to make people feel good, talk about our candidate, they will try to just the results going to be in their favor, whoever's winning. So, but the facts matter. So, Prince Mari, this conversation should simply be awakening questions to leadership and fellowship. Yeah, brother. Yep. SB. So with everybody input, we appreciate you all. Karina, you want to say something? Jennifer, say something.
Yeah, we are happy and we are love and happiness here. Okay, so all this intensity. Let's pray for our country at the end of the day. We love you all. If you're coming on today, this is Raw Conversations. We typically don't talk about elections or politics, but because we are all Liberians on this platform, we chose today to talk about the elections that's going on in our country. Just to now, we don't know much, but we thank you all for hopping on. We see a lot of man energy going around and we love it. So
We do.
if you see us smirking, it's because we love it. We see the passion there, but don't get the passion, to your head where you are going to insult somebody else. Okay, so let's keep this very peaceful. We are all Liberians, and we, at the end of the day, we want the best for Liberia, and that is all that matters.
Yeah. Jennifer, right now, I think she got LEC going on. We're talking about LEC. If y'all have good electricity in, y'all will have better voting system. Oh, there goes Jennifer. Jennifer, welcome back. We're waiting for you to wait. Her eyebrow closed now. Oh Lord. So she's part of, like, she in Liberia right now, in the area where LEC can go and come. So y'all forgive Jennifer, but she did say thanks to everyone for coming. She commented in the comment section. But we want to say, like Karina said, this is R.A.W Conversations. We come on every Friday. We talk about all topic. Nothing is off limits. Yes, we don't dive into politics much, but we do talk politics. Okay. We like to think that we're politicians around here. But with that being said, we are going to be back on Friday. I think we have another interesting topic for you next week. Byron said he wants for us to talk about our sexual education classes for him again. So we might just do something along those lines. We'll see. We'll keep it light next week, okay? And hopefully by next week we can give you more updates on the current results. I'm hoping and praying by next week we will have it all in, and we'll have a candidate, and we'll celebrate. And by the grace of God, it will be the right person at the right time, because this is what God have chosen them for. And we are believers on here. Like, we're not standing by what our good brother Steven said. God is in it. All right. So Jennifer, you back?
How are you? I start shaking the computer down.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. We will see you guys next week. All right, hold on. Let's play our commercial so y'all can see who we are.
Yes.
And what we do and how we do it. If the banner can come on. Now I'm in Nukutan. They was talking about something about point 4. I grew up in point 4, even though it was not like
taboo topics?
Do you like to talk about religion?
Do you like to talk about sex? Do you like trending topics?
Then join us live
on our weekly podcast and follow us on our various social media platforms
under R.A.W Conversations.
Hey y'all, it's Hawa. R.A.W allows me to admit that I don't know and gives me an opportunity to learn.
Hey y'all, this is Vanessa, and R.A.W allows me to be authentically myself while bringing you some cheese and some tea and a little bit of fun.
Hey guys, it's Katie, aka Karina. R.A.W is authentic conversation, and it allows me to be right and wrong at the same time.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. R.A.W Conversations allows me to be aware, to be transparent, and of course, to grow.